There are 10 games on Monday. Let's preview them. And I'm sure your team won the Super Bowl. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and when a clown moves into a palace, he doesn't become a king. The palace becomes a circus, and I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and you can find me on Blue Sky at joshloyd.bsky.social, on Twitter at redrock_bball, on TikTok at redrock_bball, and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Also, check out LockedOnDaily.com and find the best newsletter for your favorite NBA team. That is LockedOnDaily.com. You sign up for free, you get the newsletters, it's easy, it's done, it's dusted. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl. Chiefs fans, enjoy it. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles for winning the Super Bowl. Well done. You knocked off the mighty Chiefs. Okay, let's talk about the action for Monday in the NBA. There are the 10 games on. We've got most of the injury updates that have come through at the time of me recording this, and we'll get into what we need to talk about. It is, of course, National Flannel Day, so bogan up, get your flannel out, wear it up, we're good to go. Let's talk about the games. First, what is the first game that's up? It is the Atlanta Hawks and your Orlando Magic. The Magic are 5-point favorites in this game. It is it's a negative schedule spot, a schedule minus spot for the Hawks. I've got the schedules here for this week and next week, which forms one fantasy matchup at the bottom of the screen, so take a look at that. Remembering that Wednesday is a 15-game day. Clint Capela, I don't know what's going on with him. He's not actually injured. They're just not playing him, so I'm just going to leave him doubtful until we actually see him play in a game. And then Mohamed Waiver is in the G League, sort of. Like, he played a G League game. The next day, he played an NBA game, played pretty well. Then he didn't play the next game, because it would have been 3 games in a row. And now they've listed him questionable as G League. Well, what the hell does that mean? I hate how teams do this. Not every team does it, but the Blazers do it a lot. The Hawks do it a bit. Of labeling your two-way guys as a questionable G League. Just say they're in the G League or not. So I don't know whether Gay is going to play or not, which impacts actually amazingly quite a lot. Trae Young is probable, and old mate Jalen Suggs is doubtful. Now, a lot of people go, man, what is Orlando doing? Low key, the Magic have been, for years, one of the worst injury reporting teams. They get a pass because what they do is they put out injury reports the earliest. Like, if they got a game the next day, they'll drop it before the final game of the day before is out. They do it really early. They drop their starting lineups early. But they are horrific at giving real injury updates. We had it with Wendell Carter last season with his knee issue. We had it with Markelle Fultz with his knee issue. We had it with Jonathan Isaac for 2.5 years. They are horrible at giving accurate injury statements. I've got no idea what's going on with Jalen Suggs. No idea. Like I said the other day, people think that it's soft, it's contusion, because now we know what a contusion is. We know that it's a bruise, but it's just a bruise. It needs a rebrand contusion. I tweeted this out as well. A capillary trauma syndrome or something. That's what it is. It's a massive blood clot inside your muscle/bone. That's what's happening. I don't know when he's coming back. I think we're at a stage where you can drop him because I don't know when he's returning, and when he comes back, will he be limited and then he can be fluctuating with his numbers? It's really hard to understand. I'd try to hold it through the break, but then if we come out of the break and Suggs still isn't ready, then see you later. What are we watching for? Vit Krejci's played 31 minutes each of the last 2 games. Weirdly, before the deadline, they cut his minutes back after he'd been playing 30 a night and playing well. So I don't really know what Quinn Snyder was going for there. 30 minutes of Vit Krejci is a 12-team league player. But now we've got to see what they do, because last game, Karis LeVert got into foul trouble. Terrence Mann was there. What do they do if Gay is available? How do they run all this? I don't know, but we're watching Krejci. With the Magic, Goga Bitadze looks like a drop. So we're watching the Bitadze-Wendell Carter mixture to see if that is in fact true. George Niang is probably the stream in Atlanta, but Krejci could be it. It could be Niang. It could be Gay. It could be Barlow. I don't know. There are many different guys that can play there. Last time it was Niang and he was good. The game before it was Gay. Both games has been Krejci. It's all over the shop. And then for the Magic, it is probably Cole Anthony as the stream guy. With 10 games on, you might be able to stream. And Kentavious Caldwell-Pope would be another one as well. Second game we're talking about is the Spurs. And we're going up to the Washington Wizards. It is a schedule minus spot for the Wizards, and the Spurs are 11-point favourites here. Charles Bassey is out for San Antonio. The Wizards also said that Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart won't play until after the All-Star break. I'm not even confident they'll play then, but they're definitely not playing at the moment, so they're out. Alex Sarr is out. Anthony Gill is out. And then Keyshawn George missed the last game with an ankle injury. He is questionable here. I think if George plays, you might not get Champagny playing. For the Spurs, I want to see the Steph Castle minutes and usage because it's been completely different for the 3 games since Fox has arrived. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 33 minutes, and 28 minutes. One game absolutely dreadful, one game amazing, one game sort of below mid. I still don't think it's going to be easy for him to be a 12-team league player. In fact, he hasn't been able to do it all season. So I want to watch it because we're always taking in information and ready to change our priors if necessary. On the Wizards, Bob Carrington has been playing well, the best he's played. I still have some doubts about that, and again, the smart stuff could screw a lot of this stuff up. But Carrington's someone we watch. For the streaming guys, Jeremy Sohan, well, it could be 26 minutes, it could be 18. That's literally what we saw each of the last 2 games, so it is very hard to predict that. Because Harrison Barnes got red hot, so they just didn't use Sohan. And then for the Wizards, with no Sarr out, it's been Richaun Holmes. He's been providing enough value, so we can go back to Holmes as a stream guy in this spot. The next game we take a look at is the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're in Cleveland for this one. In terms of injuries, Randall is out, DiVincenzo is out, and then both Mike Conley and Ant Edwards missed the last game. I really think they're playing. I don't think they're out, but who knows? They're officially questionable. For the Cavs, Isaac Okoro remains out. They've given us no update on that at all, by the way. Every game is just out. Hey, Okoro might play? Out. Any chance of out? No diagnosis, no time frame, nothing. And it's been, I reckon, 4 weeks. So I don't know when he's back. Dean Wade's out. DeAndre Hunter, though, is going to be available. Well, they're listing him probable, so just stop edging. In some parts of life, that can be good. When you're trying to tell me whether DeAndre Hunter's going to play, just tell me. Probable's garbage. The next thing is Sam Merrill, who missed the last game for personal reasons. He's available. On the Wolves, Jaden McDaniels popped off last game with no Ant and no Randall and no DiVincenzo. So he did. And in the past, when he's been given opportunities, McDaniels, he has failed to take them. He has never really upped his usage. That is the big difference with Jaden this season, is that when guys are out, he steps up and goes, all right, give me the ball, let's cook. Now, is that a good strategy for the team overall? I don't know. He's been pretty good at it. That is impressive. And then on the Cavs, well, I do want to see what they do with Hunter. Does he start? Does he come off the bench because it's his first game? Does he replace Max Strus? Does he play 24 minutes? Because if he does, it's the easiest drop of all time. If he plays 30, you debate it, but I still don't think he's going to be a hold. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is probably the stream in Minnesota, although keep an eye on Jalen Clark. Alexander-Walker's value spikes a lot if Edwards and or Conley are out. And then for the Cavs, Milk is probably the guy. Still don't really trust him as a long-term 12er, but we can stream. The next game could be one of the ugliest nonsense games of all time. Just look at the injury report. It's the Hornets and the Nets. Charlotte played on Sunday, and they're coming into this game as well. So it's a back-to-back for them. It is a scheduled minus spot for the Nets, and there's just a lot that I just don't know. Josh Okogie, I know, is out. LaMelo Ball, Josh Green, Nick Smith, Mark Williams, Yusuf Nurkic all sat out on Sunday. I have absolutely no idea whether they're going to be available on Monday. And then Moussa Diabate got hurt on Sunday with a hit in the face. So I would think that, well, if Diabate is not available, then Nurkic or Williams will have to be there. And again, a reminder, Mark Williams is not injured. He is not injured. So we'll see what they do with that center rotation, because all 3 could be available. 1 could be available, and we're leaning on Solan and Gibson. It's all over the shop. And then in the guards, it's Green, Ball, Smith. Are they in or out? I don't know. So obviously we want to see what happens with Mark Williams in the center spot for Charlotte. And then in Brooklyn, Cam Johnson. What is he, 30 minutes now? 28 minutes? Does he push to 33? Does he play 24-25 the way that D'Angelo Russell has been? No, I don't know. Stream guys, I will go to KJ Simpson. There are just a few opportunities for him to get minutes with Green, Smith, and Ball all questionable, but you could throw a center in there as well. Maybe you are striving for someone who shoots 8% like Tijan Solan, and you could try him in there as well. And then Keon Johnson is probably the ideal Nets guy to take a crack at. Today's episode is brought to you by Skims. Skims for men's, not Skims for women. They can go and get... This is just for men. Fellas, listen up. Would you like it if you had angels cradling your testicles? You've never thought about it? Think about it now, because that is exactly what it is like wearing a pair of Skims. We all want that support for our undercarriage. Other underwear, it just doesn't cut it. You've heard from other people in your life, hey, I really love my Skims. And you go, yeah, but they don't bloody make it for men, do they? Well, they do now. They do now. So you don't have to yell at people about the inequity in underwear comfort, because Skims has got you. They have got your back. All those issues with underwear, they float away up to the clouds where those angels live, because Skims now has everything. Boxers, boxer briefs, material for activewear, sitting at home, enjoying yourself. It's all there with Skims. So shop Skims Men's at skims.com and at Skims stores. And let them know that we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. And if you're looking for the perfect gift for your Valentine or for yourself, Skims just launched their best Valentine's shop ever. Available in sizes for women, men, kids, and unbelievably, even pets. Okay, we should look at some of the other games now, because we've knocked off 4. We've got 6 more to go, and we've got streaming options to throw in there as well. So after that debacle that is the Hornets and the Nets, we've got the Celtics and the Heat in Miami. This is likely going to be the traded bloke debut. It is Andy Wiggins probably appearing. This is a schedule minus what for Boston in terms of who is out. Drew Holiday is out. I don't like to do this. It's not fun for me to do this, but Drew Holiday, get that garbage out of here. I don't think you can bother with him, honestly. They signed Mag the Stallion's boyfriend, Torrey Craig. He's out as well. And then, curious, Jaylen Brown and Jace Tatum both popped up as questionable. Are they inventing a pseudo All-Star break for their All-Stars? Couldn't be me thinking that. Couldn't be me. Anyway, they're questionable, Brown and Tates. If they're out, then Slam and Sammy Hauser. But look for the big lineups, because you might get Al Horford. You might get Lukey Cornett in there as well. Porzingis is back after missing the last game. For the Heat, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Triple H. He is dealing with an illness, so he's questionable. Nikola Jovic, Little Chungus, is probable. And then Andy Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and Davion, number 45, D. Mitchell, is available as well. And I only expect one of those guys to play, and that is Wiggins. Derek White's been a little bit frustrating of late. Minutes have been down. I am convinced that he's dealing with an injury. Why? Because he missed time with an injury. And then since he came back from that injury, the shot has either disappeared or he's played limited minutes in a bunch of games. It's been a very weird stretch. So I have to believe that it's the injury. Because there's no reason that we would see his minutes continually drop down the way they have. So let's watch what's going on there. For the Heat, well, how does Superman Khalil Ware fit in with Wiggins there? Because you would imagine that Hero starts. Yes, lock it in. Bam Adebayo starts. Yes, lock it in. And then what? Wiggins starts. Yes, lock it in. And then probably Duncan Robinson? Then who's the other one? Is it Hayward Highsmith? Almost definitely not. Absolutely not. But absolutely. But does Khalil Ware play 30? Was he played 22 to try and get Highsmith and Jaquez and Rozier and all these guys in for minutes? It's key to watch. We're holding Ware. Don't worry, we're holding him. In terms of streaming on Boston, you could go with Al Horford. I don't feel good about it. But you could also look to Luke Cornett. And then in Miami, Little Chungus, Nikola Jovic is probably going to be that stream that you want to go with. Pelicans and the Thunder. All right, so this could be one of the largest ass-kickings you will see. The Thunder are 14.5-point favorites. Bruce Brown and Kelly Olynyk are out after their trade. Are they ever going to play for the Pelicans? I honestly have no idea. There's a lot of talk of Bruce Brown maybe being bought out. I don't know. It would be pretty weird to see them play, honestly, because why would you do it? But I don't know. But at least for this game, we know they're out. BJ Boston is questionable. He had his ankle in the last one. No guarantee whether he plays anyway because of the two-way contract stuff. And then for the Oklahoma City Thunder, take note because it's important. The Hong Kong mattress, Carson Wallace is out. Isaiah Joe is out, and Usman Jeng is out. But Lou Dort and Chet Holmgren return. But having no Wallace and no Joe means that Aaron Wiggins is able to play more. And Aaron Wiggins has been cooking. And that's important. What are we watching for on the Pelicans? Last game, Carlo Makovic went to the bench. He played 17 minutes. Jose Alvarado started. Makovic had started the two previous games and played high 20s. So if Makovic is a 17-minute a night player, there is absolutely no way in the world that we roster him in 12-team leagues. You move on. And Alvarado's worth grabbing. And then for the Thunder, I want to see Hartenstein because I want to see the Hartenstein-Chet pairing. I know Chet's going to be limited. But what does it do? Because that is one of the most common questions I've had over the last 2 weeks. Man, what do I do with Hartenstein? Do I drop him? Like, the answer is no. But how much is he actually impacted? In terms of stream guys, I do like Alvarado on the Pelicans. And then Aaron Wiggins has to be the Thunder guy. With Wallace and Joe out, you got Wiggins and you got Alex Caruso actually as well, who could be an option for you in there too. The next game is the Warriors and the Bucks in Milwaukee. This is a back-to-back for Milwaukee. They played on Sunday. The Warriors are 7-point favorites on the road, which is interesting. The bucket is out, Johnny Kuminga, but Steph Curry popped up as questionable, so just keep an eye on that one. We know that Giannis is out and Pat Connaughton, whatever. For the Warriors, Quentin Post, he was very good last game. He doesn't get to play against Nikola Vucevic again, so that probably isn't as easy for him against Brook Lopez. But watching his minutes and the production and how often he's shooting and how they're going in is important to know where his streaming value lies. In Milwaukee, I want to see Bob Portis. Not because I like watching him play, because, oh my God, there are a million things I'd rather do. But Bobby Portis played 30 minutes last game despite Kyle Kuzma starting ahead of him. But that was with Brook Lopez playing 24. So what if Kuzma plays 34 and Lopez plays 34? What the hell does Portis do? Well, that's what I want to watch. In terms of stream guys, Bud Hield, even if Podziemski's available, you do him. Bud Hield can give you 13 with 3 threes, easy. And then for the Bucks, well, this could be great, or it could be a complete shit sandwich, because it's Gary Trent. Trent could drop 29 points on 75 million threes, or he could have 0 points, play 12 minutes, and look like the worst player you've ever seen in your life. They are the Gary Trent extremes, and you know you're probably going to get 2 of those every week. So, I don't know. He was good yesterday, so I feel very scared about recommending Trent for a second game in a row. And in fact, I shouldn't have, because when I looked at my projections, he didn't come out on top. It was Big Boom AJ Green. Because there's just too much variance in Trent. But it's hard not to after seeing what he did in that last game. But people get sucked in, though. I've already had someone go, man, do I add Gary Trent in 10-10 leagues? Not unless you want to lose. But people ask it already. All right, next game. Kings Mavs. Okay. We're in Dallas for this one. Derek Lively's out. Anthony Davis is out. By the way, no Kings on the injury report at all. So Anthony Davis is out. So he left the last game. He said, no, I'm fine. It's just like a little bit of a spasm in my groin. Out. Adductor strain. Oh, really? Really? Spasm, huh? Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah, that's cool, man. That's cool. I like that. That's cool. Sick. So, a groin strain, which is what they're calling it now, it's 3 weeks, 4 weeks, no idea. It would be absolutely irresponsible for him to play before the All-Star break. But we know the clown's running that show. So who knows what happens? I do not think that he's going to play. I mean, I know that he's not going to play on Monday. I don't think that Davis is playing until after the All-Star break. But again, I don't know. Dwight Powell's out. Caleb Martin is out. PJ Washington is questionable. Max Christie popped up as questionable. Now, Christie's been benefiting a lot from somebody being out. So we'll see what happens. If he is out, and PJ's out, and Davis is out, well, is it Dante Exum? I don't think you'd want to use him, though. Is it Dinwiddie? Probably yes. And then Exum's questionable, too. I didn't even notice that. Exum's questionable, too. So there's another one. What else am I watching? Jake LaRavia was very good for the Kings last game. Very good. Now, we don't add him in 10 or 12 or 14 teamers, but he was good. And he got minutes in that bench group. And yes, that bench group was very good in that last game. We saw a lot of minutes out of Keon Ellis as well. But how does Doug Christie use them? Will he give Keon 30 again? Can LaRavia do more than he did in the last game? Who loses out? Is it the guys that don't fit, DeMar DeRozan? Or is it somebody else? Is it Keegan Murray? Because somebody's got to lose out for these guys to play. And Doug Christie hasn't shown any ability to really manage that rotation yet. So we'll see what happens. And then we do want to watch Max Christie because he's been very good. Now, he's not going to shoot as well as he has been, but he's going to have opportunities. So Keon Ellis is the stream in Sacramento. Deeper leagues, it is LaRavia. And then Najee Marshall, because I'm just not sure whether Christie plays, but Marshall has a massive runway. No Davis, maybe no Washington, maybe no Christie. He could get 30 minutes and a lot more touches and become relatively useful for quite a few leagues, to be honest, just for this at least one game. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. When your game tips off, the NBA action is just starting, and there is no better place to get in on it than with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, you can place live bets during the game. So even if you miss your opening tip, Well, you can get in and bet on a fourth quarter comeback or anything that's happening during the game. Second half lines, they've got them. Fourth quarter lines, individual player props. It's all there at FanDuel, and that live betting feature keeps you into the game all the way through. And right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just go to FanDuel.com to join today. That is FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And don't forget to gamble responsibly. All right, let's bang out the final games for us to take a look at. It is the Blazers and the Nuggets. In this one, we got... I thought me leaving this to a little bit later to record would mean... we'd get all the injury reports, but we did it, and then another injury report came out for the Blazers, so that's great. The Nuggets are 8.5-point favorites here, and it's a schedule minor spot for both of these teams. Thibault is out. Rob Williams is questionable. And then the Ides of March, are they hitting early? Because Jeremy Grant is questionable with knee soreness. Chris Murray is questionable with a quad contusion. And then for Denver, Westbrook is out. Watson is out. Chanchar is out. Michael Porter is questionable. The poop cookie. The headmaster, Jamal Murray, is probable. And Aaron Gordon is probable. On the Blazers, what do we want to watch? Denny Avdia. He's not playing. He's playing like mid-20 minutes. And he's absolutely not a 12-team league guy. If that continues. But I don't know, do I? Because it doesn't really make sense. They lent into him with big minutes. They even got me. The man who never in his life ever has ever admitted he was wrong on anything. Never have done that in my life. I actually admitted that I was almost close to sort of wrong on Denny. And then as soon as I did it, he went back to being the guy that I thought he was. So I don't really know what to make of that. We need to see what they're doing. Now, if Jeremy Grant is out, does Denny go back to 35? Probably. Does Sharp or Scoot step up? Maybe. But we want to see it. We want to see what happens with Denny. For the Nuggets, Aaron Gordon is not doing enough to me to be considered a must-roster player. Change my mind, Aaron. You won't. And then for stream guys, Tamani Kamara and Julian Strawther, especially if someone like Michael Porter is out, Strawther does get a bump. But his last two games, look at the game log. The minutes are fine. The numbers are a little bit inconsistent, shall we say. The final game of the day, probably the one that we want to watch the most, and I actually don't have an updated injury report on this one. So, it's the Jazz, it's the Lakers. The Lakers play the next two games against the Jazz, by the way. Colin Sexton's out. Last game the Jazz played was a back-to-back, and shockingly enough, Walker Kessler, Larry Market, and John Collins all suffered an injury on the same day. Amazing stuff. I expect that they play, but I have no idea. And KJ Martin, who came across in a trade, he might be available as well. And he could really eat into like a Filipowski or even a Michael Potter in minutes because that's the position he plays. Will he be good enough? I think he'll have some moments, KJ, at times, but trying to peg down this entire team and where the minutes lie is bloody impossible. For the Lakers, the crucifix Christian Wood is out. But is this it? Is Luka here? Is he available? Maybe. Luka, LeBron, trade rescind legend Dalton Connect, are they all going to be available? I think so. But I also have no idea. I do want to watch Kyle Filipowski. Not like that. Don't worry, girlfriend. I'm not doing anything. You can have him. You can keep him. Do what you need to do. I just want to see what sort of minutes they give him and how it all works in because he was pretty good in the last game. And then for the Lakers, well, of course, I want to see what happens after the trade. I desperately want to see what we get from Cam Reddish now that he's back in LA. Of course, I don't. I want to see Luka Doncic and what it does for others. I know who Luka is. I know he's going to be the fattest man you've ever seen in the world, according to Nico Harrison. I want to see who is it? Which idiot was that? Oh yeah, it was old mate Patrick Dumont. Oh yeah, these players today, they don't care. They need to be as dedicated to fitness like the way Shaq was. Bro, you're right. Like Shaq was. Yeah. All right. Shout out to old heads and dickheads. Yeah, let's see Luka. Yeah, let's see what happens. In terms of streams, Isaiah Collier should be more than a stream, but he's not rostered in enough spots yet. So I just keeps telling you that you just got to roster him. And the last one there is Jackson Hayes, who honestly is probably a 12-team grab. Maybe not in points, but maybe. Because until they do something with that center spot, Hayes is it, yeah? Hayes is it. For now, at least. We'll see. Let's look at streaming. Very hard to do chunky stuff with the way the schedule is split up, but let's talk streams of the day. For Monday, your 10-team stream and your 12-team stream, they're relatively interchangeable. It's Alex Caruso and Aaron Wiggins. with the guys out in OKC. We know Wiggins has been popping off. And Crusoe's never going to score, but he might have 5, 5, 5, and 2 rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. Right, he could do all that. So they're the 10 and 12 team league option there. Your 14 team guy, I'm going to go with Rashawn Holmes. He's been starting. Vukcevic is a deeper league guy, but Sarah's out, so Holmes is your man. And then for 16 teamers, Corey Kispert, who is annoying. I really, really don't like him as a player, and I don't know why I just dislike it. I think it's the reason I hear is self-realization. The reason I don't like Corey Kispert as a player is that A, he was incredibly old when he was drafted, and I thought it was a waste of a draft pick. B, he's incredibly limited as a player. He's a guy that can shoot well and not really do anything else. But C, every dickhead in the world makes excuses for this guy. Everyone's like, oh, he is so good, I can't wait. And I'm sitting there going, what are you talking about? He's not. He's not good. He's not that good. He's fine. He is an 8th man at best. That's it. He's not even a starter for the Wizards. He's not that good. And maybe that's why I push back so hard against it, because I just hear it all the time. Man, I can't wait to get my hands on Corey Kispert. Oh, yeah. Okay? Cool. I'm sure you didn't need to even know that. Yahoo points stream, I'm going with Keon Johnson, and ESPN points will go with Aaron Wiggins. More 10-team category guys. We'll start at the top. Caruso, Wiggins, like I said. Rashawn Holmes, Lou Dort, Corey Kispert, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. For 12-teamers, just use all those 10-team names as well. Oh, maybe or maybe not. Yep, there we go. We'll bring it up now. But you can look at these names too. Cole Anthony, Day'Ron Sharpe, Jackson Hayes, Al Horford, Larry Nance, and Budrick Hield. Got old Shavano. And then for deeper leagues, there's still some value on this list too. Max Strus, the Winter Soldier. I love when I see this occasionally, ready for a sidebar, when I see stuff occasionally talking about my show and things that we do and talking about nicknames that I give people, and they go, man, I love the Winter Soldier Max Strus. And they go, I don't know where that's from. Someone goes, oh, I think maybe it's because he looks like the Winter Soldier. Yeah. That's it. That's exactly it. And I will do it. I will in the off season. I will do a show explaining origins of nicknames. I will. But that's it. That's Max Strus because he looks like Sebastian Stan. As simple as that. George Niang is another stream there, the minivan. Zaire Williams, the artist formerly known as the amino acid legend Torian Prince. Vit Krejci and Dorian Finney-Smith. Your Yahoo point streams, all 60% plus available. Keon Johnson, Jordan Clarkson, the man on the street, Jordan Clarkson. Rashawn Holmes, Isaiah Collier, Aaron Wiggins, and Tumani Kamara. And then for ESPN leagues, we go to Wiggins, Kispert, Keon Johnson, Jordan Clarkson, Rashawn Holmes, and Tumani Kamara. And that's a preview show on Flannel Day, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl. I hope you guys enjoyed these shows. I hope you guys just enjoyed whatever it is you did. Your 5-layer dip, your nachos, your buffalo wings, your pizza. Whatever it is, enjoy it. Guys, thumb up, bang, comment. We are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I'm going to go watch the big game. See ya.